What's up, Michael? My name is Nigel Chambers. I'm from Big Go Belt Media. Super excited to talk about your new project. Things will be different. Coming to theaters and
Awesome.
on demand and digital October 4th. And might I add, had its world premiere at South by Southwest Festival this year. Congratulations, Michael. How you doing today?
Doing good, Najir. How you doing, man?
I am good. I am good. I know we're here to talk about a movie. I feel like we also can dive into some other things with our setups here.
I know we both have very professional setups. I love your situation. We have similar chairs. Like it's the
Yep,
best, man.
exactly. Oh man, Michael, I'm going to start off in a way I did not think I was going to start off today, and I'm getting a chance to talk to your cast. Adam had a question that he said he had wished he had asked you, so I'm going to
Okay.
ask it for him, and he wants to talk about Joseph and the decision behind making Joseph lose hope in the middle of the film. He wanted to know essentially I feel how he navigated to that point of the film. And I think it's brilliant, and I think he agrees too that, traditionally somebody either loses hope in the beginning and we get this whole arc, or it happens at the end and that's the resolve of the film. But the middle is very, very interesting. So I'm wondering for you, and all things that Joseph endures in this film. Why was it important for this character to lose hope in the middle?
It's very interesting, and it's something that I remember we talked about pretty deeply in our conversations where he was latching on to the hope so much, and then really just kind of, fell apart in the middle of the movie. And that was like a big turning point for his character. We really wanted to latch onto it because hope is just like the false promise that humans give ourselves for change. Like, really, this movie shows that it's old habits die hard. It's really hard to change your character, and hope is just the excuse you give yourself, being like, I hope I mend things with my sister. I hope that this time travel house and this robbery helps us get to a safe haven, and this is our easy answer out. But hope without backing up the answer, or with like actual, like tangible change,
Yeah.
can be poison and leave you completely empty and dark, especially when you have no decision or no control over your situation like they do in the middle of the movie. And
Yeah.
that's where hope empties you and kills you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I have a cynical approach with hope in this movie. And I mean, the title is very hopeful in one way and gives the false promise of it not being where it is, but things will be different. It's the hope. It's a hopeful title,
Yeah.
for better or for worse. So, really great question.
I feel that. And I feel that in a way that we'll probably send this conversation in a different direction for the next 20, 30 minutes here. But I,
Hell yeah.
I, I absolutely feel and receive that all the way. Um, something I thought was Something else I thought that was really beautiful between Adam and Riley is they said there was moments where in filming you would just watch them and you just had pure joy in your eye. Um, they said that even to the point that maybe you are the estranged father of them being the estranged siblings.
What a
um,
great answer. Oh
I
my
would, I
God.
would, I would love to hear you elaborate on that. And obviously, this is your special project, but you can do all the writing in the world, you can do all the directing in the world, but like the actors got to go out there and do the work. And I would assume that, from what I saw, that you must be pleased, and I'm pleased, and then ultimately just seeing them build that organic relationship obviously had sparked some emotions for you. So could you talk a little bit about having them on? Some of the special moments you witnessed even when they wasn't filming, and just why you're just so proud of Riley and Adam.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the short answer to start is that they were even better than I imagined. Like, I had, you always try to paint with certain actors in your head or certain people that you think of when you write a character. But when our casting director, Chrissy, found both Adam and Riley and then paired them to be the perfect sibling combo, I was elated. It changed the movie for me. Took it to a whole nother level, and it was just even better that they were just the kindest people to talk with. Like, I'm in text chains with them still to this day. We're just shooting the shit for whatever
Yeah.
for a long time now. And it's really great to then see them not just be really great people to work with, but then you get you build up to the day of set, you do all these rehearsals, everyone's kind of like at 50%, they're not trying to go all out, and then to see them just turn it on the camera without me on having to direct them too much. Like we're on take one, and I'm like, wow, take one was so usable, and it just left me with a smile on my face.
Yeah.
It was where everything kind of came together every time we shot, and then just to see it like happen, I couldn't help but beam, I couldn't help but glow. It was awesome. And then I remember there was like, I think early on we had Riley do stuff with a tape recorder that was incredibly hard to do. And I was just like, even that stuff, I was just applauding her, like, oh my gosh, you had the best scene with a tape recorder that I've ever seen. And I was just couldn't help but high five or hug her. And she would be like, yeah, I got it. And I'll be like, yeah, you got it. It's the best. And then with Adam, I remember he had like a big scene that was coming up that involved like him basically breaking down in front of his sister. And it was such a scene that was weighing on every movie has a scene that weighs on the actors the entire shoot, and they're all dreading that day that they have to go and shoot it. So when he nailed it, like I think it was either take one or two, like once we kind of figure out where the camera was going to be on take two, he just nailed it. He just nailed this meltdown moment. And I just couldn't help from where I was at monitor, which was like 2 rooms away. As soon as the take was over, I just went, yeah. And I like sprinted down the hallway,
Yeah.
like basically high fived everyone. And then I went up to him and like, yeah, that was the best. And I just like high five, high five. Like I feel like half the time as a director, you're just like a football coach. And you're
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
basically like, as soon as a player or a teammate just like executes the perfect play, like as designed, you're just going like, oh my God, yeah, yeah, get it, yeah, high five.
Yeah.
So yeah, those moments happened so much more than I could have possibly expected. So yeah, I'm over the moon with both Adam and Riley.
I love to hear that, man. That's special. And I also think too, um, when you talk about you know, chemistry amongst the cast and chemistry amongst, all of the filming crew and just the culture amongst filming and the set, I think it always turns out to be good results. And they obviously, from talking to them, they had such a fantastic time with this. So I know I was gonna have so much fun with you too. I just hate that I gotta be timed and kicking it with you for a little bit. Hey, I just noticed something. What's on your right wrist?
So I have this after that I got the movie released. I actually
Oh,
got that
okay.
tattoo that's in the movie.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's funny because this is the tattoo, this Triforce tattoo on my elbow is what inspired the tattoo that's in the movie itself. So
Got it.
yeah, yeah, it's
And
really, really fun.
what might have inspired the Triforce tattoo? Is there just this little game that you grew up loving or anything? Is that possibly it?
Yeah, it's a little game called Zelda, and my sister and I grew up playing Zelda, so she
Yeah,
has this tattoo on the exact same spot on
that's
her
lit.
arm, and so that's why we have matching tattoos in the movie. It was
Yeah,
me and my sister have matching tattoos,
that's
and it
dope.
came from Zelda because we played Zelda all the time.
Absolutely, and still to this day, because
Still to this
who
day, we
gave it
were
up?
talking about it the other day. It's really
Yeah.
awesome. So yeah.
Um, there is a lot of physicality in the film, and I didn't get to ask him about this, but I want to ask you because this script is complex because there's layer amongst layers in terms of the twists and turns with the story. And then it reaches across multiple genres. There's some horror, there's this psychological aspect, drama in there. The sci-fi is high in the film at times. And then after all of that, when you talk about the action because they're running across fields, ducking and dodging, it's a little bit of everything. I am curious for you because although you may be overly confident, like this story is going to work, I got an idea, I got a budget, you got to present this to somebody, this granular thing that you nailed, by the way. But how do you approach a conversation when you're like, I got this idea for a movie and it has all of these things in it? Unless you're going to be running across a field if you wasn't aware of this or not.
I remember asking both of them during both Adam and Riley during the process, being like, by the way, there's going to be times where you're like coughing up blood, you're going to be
Oh,
throwing punches, you're going to be running across fields through corn crops, you're going to be chasing people with guns. Like, are you guys okay with it? And thankfully, Adam has an extensive background in like TV shows and movies where he's basically like, oh yeah, that's basically bread and butter for me.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then Riley just came off like a horror movie where they basically dumped 10,000 gallons of blood on her. And she's like, oh, this is just a Tuesday. Like, this is easy. So thankfully, it wasn't a big ask. And when they went on to set, it was literally like, oh yeah, I've done this before, and we would nail it in 2 to 3 takes. It was pretty awesome to have them like execute in that way. So that way we could just put the camera in cool spots, get different angles, and they would just nail it every single time. So surprisingly easy for what I
Yeah.
was asking for sure.
Also, I mean, it's nothing better when an idea comes to light, it gets the paper, and then you get to shoot it, and everybody's on board, and the casting process seems to be in simplicity here. So I would rally, pun intended, for you to collaborative effort from the three of you again at some point.
Oh
Um,
yeah, that would be
but
the best.
that brings me to my next point. I know you want to live right now in the moment and the flowers, and as you should, and folks will be checking this out October 4th. But I just want to know, what is the mastermind Michael thinking in his head now for the next project? What first of all, what genres, because it won't be one, because I know enough now to know that. But what are you sort of thinking about now going forward?
It's funny because I love all genres, so I would love to tackle like hybrid genres of like, what if I meshed like a comedy with time travel, or what if I
Ooh,
did this with time travel, or action adventure with, some more romance. But I've been living in the sci-fi realm, and people watching this movie are engaging with the lore so much that they're kind of like, I want to see what's next. So there is like a treatment for a sequel slash prequel for this story, and I've already talked with actors and stuff like that about that and them, and uh Adam and Riley have heard the pitch before, so it's just like, what is going on next for this universe and the story for them. So definitely that's on the back burner for a little bit. We'll see how this movie floats in the world for a little bit on its own, but
yeah.
that's a possible next project as well too.
I love to hear it. Michael, thank you so much for your time today. Things will be different in theaters, on demand, and digital October 4th. I'll be keeping an eye out on you, buddy. And we'll definitely be talking again soon. I know it and I feel it, and it'll be right here before we know it.
Oh my God, thank you so much, man. This was really awesome to talk to you. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely, buddy. Anytime. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Felker.